Remember the old excuse, the devil made me do it, right? It'll cover everything from like your homework not getting done to giving in to a really horrible temptation, right? The devil made me do it. It wasn't me. And we can do that. And in fact, for human beings, this is kind of our go-to. It's the world around me. It's all those suggestive things that I see on TV, even though I could turn off the TV, right? All those things on the internet. My goodness, on my social media, it's all there. All these things that want me to think a certain way, that want me to be greedy, and they want me to be self-centered, and they want me to sort of think that I'm the center of the world. And there's a temptation to do that, and I can blame that. And it's certainly there, and it's certainly wanting to pull us in. But you know what? We don't have to play along. We don't have to do that. It's not that the devil made me do it. He's definitely in working at it like, aggressively all the time. But we have an out. Check this out from James chapter 4. We're going to look at verse 7 today. Check this out. He says, "Submit yourselves therefore to God, resist the devil, and he will flee from you." I'm going to read that one more time because I think it's so incredibly important. "Submit yourselves therefore to God, resist the devil, and he will flee from you." Now, he's talking, the context of this James verse is really talking about like kind of our friendship with ungodly ideas, and when we jump in and we want to be just like everybody else, and we want to get so we're going to be in fights with everybody. We're going to try to get over on everybody and be claim like we're better and get into all these conflicts and all this stuff that we see all around us. The world is not kind. People are not generally kind. You don't see it, right? If you look at what's going on in our world politically, it's madness, and it's a war. And it's calling us to take sides, to jump in, and to get all that. And what James is saying, he's saying, look, you don't have to play along. Submit yourselves. Here's the first step, is submitting to God. Saying, Lord, I'm going to do things your way. I believe in you. I believe what you have done for me, how you have set me free. You sent me Jesus, who died on the cross to forgive every one of my sins. So I'm going to submit to that. I'm going to say that's what matters. That's the truth about my life. Not all the lies that the devil and the rest of the world are trying to tell me, but that God loves me. He loves you. Right? He loves us. He is there for us. He has set us free. Sin no longer has any kind of real power over us. We are not at its beck and call. It's going to try and entice us and bring us in. And there's going to be some stuff that we just can't help, right? We live in the world. There's stuff around us. But again, when we see it, we don't have to look twice. We don't have to leave the TV on or the computer on or our phone, and we don't have to keep scrolling. And maybe we can set some boundaries. Maybe, right, all the apps that we use, guys, they've got restrictions. They've got restricted uses, and they've got filters, and they've got different things that you can do to keep the bad stuff out. So submit to God and say, you know what, I'm going to do that. I'm going to take sin seriously. I'm going to take this battle seriously. And not just laugh it off like, oh, no big deal. So I'm going to submit to Him, and then look at the next step that He says for us to do. So you resist the devil, and he will flee from you. So God's going to give you the truth about the devil and what his scheme is. So you can resist him and say no. Because he is not perfect. The devil is not all-powerful. And we can say no. And you know what? From what this text is telling us, like, he'll get lost. He's gonna beat it. He's gonna get out of there. Now, if I keep flirting with these things and flirting with the devil, sure, he's going to stick around. If he thinks he's got a chance, he'll stick around. But when Christ is there, when the victor over sin, death, and him, right, is right with me, and I'm listening to him, and I'm submitted to him, and I want what he wants, and he's got my ear, man. He's got my heart. God does. And if he does, evidently the devil's like, man, it's a waste of my time. What if we could do that? What if we could make this just a waste of the devil's time. If we all did that. So you know what? My time, my energy, my everything goes to God. Now let's encourage each other to do that, because this is not easy. I'm not saying, snap your fingers and it is, but James is saying it's a powerful thing. Because all the devil wants is just a little bit of a foothold, man. Just a little crack in that door, and he's going to come bursting through. And he's going to bring friends, right? And that's what he does. But if we say, no, the door's closed, I'm not answering it. It's that simple, but it is difficult, and it requires the full power of God, the forgiveness of God, the grace of God. And so we submit to Him first, right? You can't do those other parts and forget the first part where we say, God. You are the one that gives my life meaning and purpose and everything, and who fills me with everything that I need, all the love and forgiveness and grace and mercy that I could ever need. He has given to me and given to you. All right, so let's go with that. Let's fight together against all these things that are coming against us, right? With God's power and His power. I'm Pastor Fred. This is the Follow Through. Hope this helps. If it does, then please share this with somebody, and again, subscribe to this Guitar Preacher channel. We'll talk to you next time.